G'day, ZiggyD here. Today I have a rather sad and embarrassing highlight for you guys. I'll give you guys a bit of analysis and context at the end of the clip, so enjoy! Gravy. Yes, of course I want gravy, right? Whoa! No! No! He's shooting me! Oh my god! I shouldn't have gone for it before dinner. That was so silly. That was so silly. Oh my god. I was pushing through way too early. I really should have been farming another 5 levels before coming through here. Oh my god. That's such an idiot. Go zombies, you've got this! No, zombies! They didn't finish it. They didn't finish it. Oh man. Too bad, too bad. So yes, my hardcore Tempest summoner did indeed die. I got absolutely murdered by Calm's Fire Cascade skill. I'll give you guys a slow motion replay here, and you can see that I actually get hit 4 times by it in rapid succession, with each of the 4 hits stunning my character. I just start moving and almost get out of the way of it right as it hits, but one echo cast too many of Summon Raging Spirits means that I just get tagged sort of half on the skill AoE and basically stunned until it finishes me off with no chance to finish sidestepping the rest of the Cascade attack. Now, Cascade is a pretty dangerous skill in general. The Glacial Cascade that players get to use has a guaranteed 2 hits against enemies, and Calm's is a bit different. It has a lot more hit potential in it, and usually what's going to happen is you're going to dodge it, because it is a very big wind up and it has a very big tail. It's very well telegraphed. But if you do kind of get hit by it, usually as long as the stun isn't too large, you can kind of take 1 or 2 hits, and then usually if you're moving at the time when you start eating it, and you're already halfway off it like my character was here, then usually you'll be able to get yourself out of the Cascade before it finishes you off. And my character doesn't have 3,000 life here. It does have 3,700 and something with the energy shield from Mind Over Matter Keystone, which absorbs some of the damage, and you can see the energy shield goes down as I take damage there as well. When I start taking damage, I had about 650 energy shield, so that totals out at about 3,700 life on the character there when I started taking damage, right until the point where I died. Now, the thing to know about this, though, is that 3,000 life at this point of the game is really quite low, and even though I do have that Mind Over Matter buffer, adding quite a decent amount of extra life, and my total life pool is not too bad for around here, still only having 3k life and having no real stun recovery on my character means that the stuns are calculated based on my life. They don't include the Mind Over Matter. So I do take the full effect of stuns, and they are particularly brutal stun. You can see my character is not able to move even a slight amount in between the stuns. There's basically no time in between each of the stuns because of the rapid succession of Cascade hits. So to give you guys some context to why I even made this poor decision going to the Calm fight, as a summoner, your Spectre skill is based on the level at which you rise the Spectres. So although I had been face rolling and was feeling super confident overall because the build was working out really nicely through all of Acts 1 through 4 up to this point, I was still using Spectres from Cruel. I was using Stygian Spectres from Cruel Harvest, and I needed to get to the new Stygians in Merciless in order for them to start dealing a lot more damage and have a lot more survivability as well. Spectres were going down every now and then, was getting kind of annoying. Wanted to be able to get access to the higher level Spectres so I could start face rolling content. Now, I got into the start of Act 4, and the smart thing to do, and I kind of weighed up the options here, the smart thing to do would have been to farm some levels in Aqueduct, and the next 5 levels that I was getting were actually all pure life nodes as well, 5% life nodes per. So that, plus probably getting some life upgrades on gear, getting some better gear in general, would have definitely saved my character, because I would have been less susceptible to stuns, having a higher life pool, and I would have had more life, so I might not have even got one shot, even if I did get hit by all 4 of the Cascades there. So greed and overconfidence was ultimately the thing that killed me, fighting a boss that I was a bit overconfident in general, having fought Calm so many times before without any problems, because he's relatively easy to manage. He's got very well telegraphed attacks. It's kind of a fight that can be a little stressful because there's a fair bit going on, but it basically comes down to just sidestepping his attacks in between his attacks and DPSing him down in between those attacks. So it's a pretty simple fight once you've had a bit of practice with it, and I'd been pretty confident with it. And then because of the face roll I'd experienced through acts 1 and 3, 1 through 3, I was feeling fairly overconfident. So, you know what they say, overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Although, in this case, I wouldn't really put the slow part in there. There was also a second lesson learned from this as well. You may have heard me mention, of course I want gravy, at the start of the highlight there. Gravy, yes, of course I want gravy, right? Whoa, no! And that was because it was actually just about time for me to eat some dinner. And you know what I thought? I thought, you know, it's been an hour, 2 hours since my last break, and it was just about ready time for a break and some dinner, so hungry and tired. And I thought, I'll sneak in the boss fight just before dinner and before my break. No, that's not good for decision-making purposes. You should, if you're making a potentially hefty decision, like whether to go into a major boss fight, especially when you know that you're pushing through many levels too early and maybe a little bit undergeared, then you should probably take that break first, and then that'll give you the time that you might have needed to properly assess the risks that you're about to take. So, I made a poor risk judgment call, and I paid the ultimate price for it, losing my summoner that I was actually really quite thoroughly enjoying. This was one of those more devastating rips, because I was just getting really into the character, and I knew I was going to really like it, but it was also just far enough that I probably don't want to re-roll it straight away. So, I will be doing some more summoner action sometime in the future, because I was having a lot of fun with this character. I was starting to show just how effective it can be. But I'm going to give it a little bit of break for a while and play something else. I've actually re-rolled a new explosive arrow character in Tempest League again, so getting back on the hardcore train, but I'm going to do something a little bit different for a while. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little recap and death analysis, and maybe it inspires some of you guys to a little more carefully weigh up those risks before you take them, and maybe take that dinner break, maybe have some of that chicken and gravy before you actually go into a boss fight. Anyway guys, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching. Gravy, yes, of course I want gravy, right? Whoa, no! No, are you shitting me?